Herodotus of Halicarnassus, who lived and wrote in the 5th century BCE, wrote a publication of his historical inquiry, spanning 9 books, which details the Greco-Persian Wars of the 5th century and the events which precipitated these wars. While the war and its causes organizes the histories, it nonetheless includes a vast and diverse body of stories and digressions, from an explanation of the remarkable Nile River to the story of Arion, a mythical musician who escaped death by riding on the back of a dolphin. As a result, Herodotus has simultaneously earned the title, the father of history, and the reputation of conducting and presenting his research in an unscrupulous and naive fashion. Indeed, the reception of the histories has itself an intriguing history. It was wildly popular in the author's day, declaimed or parodied almost instantly by other ancient authors, including his successor Thucydides, and sharply criticized by modern scholars for a perceived lack of discretion. In recent years, however, there has been a trend which considers Herodotus and his histories to be more methodologically sophisticated than was traditionally thought. Much of this scholarship has focused on the manner in which Herodotus selects his episodes, structures his wider narrative, and narrates individual stories to his audience. Studies which have drawn on narratology and reader response criticism have proved useful to this end. By imagining how the histories are told, both from the narrator's perspective and from that of the audience, who might have been listening to a reading of the text from Herodotus himself, one can more easily recognize the principles that drive and structure the massive and far-reaching publication. My thesis takes its starting point from this school of scholarship. I will first establish what we can know and what we can reasonably expect out of Herodotus' 5th century audience. I will employ close readings of select passages from Book 1 of the Histories, drawing on narratology, reader response criticism, and close attention to the linguistic characteristics of each passage, focusing on how the tone set by the language changes from one passage to another. Considering these passages in the context of the wider narrative, I will posit a Herodotean methodology, which is based not on a set of rules, but on various combinations of narrative techniques utilized to elicit both emotional and intellectual activity on the part of the audience. I will address the histories as a living, breathing text, which was created by its author to lead the audience into the world of historical inquiry. This approach sees the text sometimes as subtle and other times as conspicuous, sometimes adhering to its own stated principles and other times ignoring them, sometimes catering to the ethnocentric Greek mindset, and other times fiercely challenging it.